What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video, we're going to be checking out some awesome battles submitted to the channel by a member of the community, Hyominul. So shout out to them. Thank you for sharing these battles with us. We have a Talonflame, Hyper Beam, Obstagoon, and Umbreon being run here in the Open Ultra League. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles. Will we see some Hyper Booms today? Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, getting into this first battle here, we have... Let's see, we got Talonflame on the lead versus Galarian Stunfisk. Okay, this is definitely going to be an interesting matchup as both Pokemon are doing super effective damage to each other, right? The Steel typing there on Galarian Stunfisk, but Rock Slides here are going to be devastating. We do see the first shield go up from the Talonflame. Now, ooh, a switch into a Pokemon I didn't see, but they do have Flame Charge ready to go, and actually is going to be a Talonflame Mirror. So this is going to be very interesting to see what they decide to do in this Mirror matchup. Charge Move now coming through from the opponent. Is it going to be a Brave Bird? It is a Brave Bird. That barely doesn't take out the Talonflame, but they do have their own Flame Charge now ready to go, and that does boom the Talonflame. They're going to go ahead and swap into Umbreon and save their own Talonflame as well. So hopefully there's no Charmer in the back, otherwise this game's over. Galarian Stunfisk is coming in. This is going to be a very big tell that whatever's in the back is probably weak to Dark-type Pokemon. Maybe something like Cresselia, maybe Giratina Altered, maybe even a Jellicent as well. So Galarian Stunfisk now needs to be trying to land these Earthquakes right here, as it does do quite a bit of neutral damage, but XL Umbreon is honestly a monster. If you guys are able to build yourself one of these, it is one of the best investments because it's just so bulky and consistent. Now, what's great about running this double dark team is, like I said, we saw the Galarian Stunfisk come back into Umbreon, which is a tell that Obstagoon might be able to beat whatever's in the back, and it's tanking too. Oh my goodness, and it is going to be a Cresselia in the back. So they saved the Umbreon as well, and Galarian Stunfisk is out of energy. So no Hyper Beam is going to be landed here, as they don't need to be throwing it. All they need to be doing is throwing these Night Slashes for super effective damage. But this Cresselia does have 2 shields and access to Moonblast, which will do super effective damage in this matchup. No boost as well. They're going to go ahead and let that first one go through. That's a smart call from the opponent, as if one of these Night Slashes procs the attack boost, the other Night Slashes in the future will be doing more damage, so it's better to save the shields for later on. Here comes a Moonblast though. Obstagoon, being quite bulky as well, should be able to hold on, even though this does do super effective damage, and let's see how this plays out. Here comes another Night Slash. Remember, Galarian Stunfisk as well is out of energy basically. So let's see what they decide to do. They're going to go ahead and swap into Talonflame to catch the charge move. That's what's amazing about keeping Pokemon with low HP still alive, so you can do sack swaps just like that. Now, Obstagoon has a Night Slash loaded, but we will see Umbreon decide to come in and throw the foul play here, looking to force that shield from the opponent. They do get the final shield as well. Cresselia is loading up on energy, and we do see a swap now into the Galarian Stunfisk, but will this foul play be enough damage to take it out, or can they farm down with Snarl potentially? Oh, barely not enough. They are able to farm down, and Cresselia is going to have to throw 2 charge moves. This is going to be extremely close. Here comes the possible Grass Knot, I'm guessing, to take it out, but actually isn't going to be enough damage. It is going to be the Grass Knot. Does it hang on? Oh, the Night Slash is already locked and loaded, so Obstagoon is going to be able to take this one right here. So running Double Dark in the back definitely paid off for this matchup with 1 second remaining on the clock. Very close battle. All right, moving into this next one, we have Talonflame on the lead versus Alolan Ninetales. You'll love to see it, and we do see a swap right away into Swampert, so we will see the Obstagoon now come into this matchup. Now, this can be flipped by Swampert, as Hydro Cannons do quite a bit of damage in this matchup. Basically, you cannot survive 2, as the subsequent Mud Shots as well will start to add up. So we're going to see shields now come out from Obstagoon, but Night Slashes need to start being thrown here, as it needs to start forcing shields and potentially get boosts, as if Obstagoon gets a counter, if it gets a boost, it can fully counter this thing down, no problem. Swampert might let this next one go through. No, they decided to shield. They want to get another shield here from Obstagoon, as the matchup versus Talonflame is so deadly versus Alolan Ninetales, and I wonder if they think there is going to be Double Dark in the back. So can Obstagoon fully farm down? No, it's going to be able to get to one more Night Slash. Will the Swampert double shield in order to try to flip this mid-game? No, they're going to let it go. We do see Alolan Ninetales come back in. It's actually going to be a Charm Alolan Ninetales, which is very good to know, as Powder Snows would be doing neutral to the Talonflame here. Otherwise, it's going to be resisted because of the fire typing. So we do see a swap into Galarian Stunfisk, but things are still not looking good. Umbreon has a pretty decent matchup right here, even though it is pretty neutral. Talonflame might just be able to close this game out by farming down the Galarian Stunfisk, as it does have one shield versus the Umbreon, and we're just going to see pure Earthquakes coming through. There's really no reason to throw Rock Slide, as it's not same type attack bonus as the ground steel typing there on the Galarian Stunfisk. So we're just going to constantly be seeing foul plays being thrown out. I'm not sure if Talonflame has a Flame Charge ready to go. We did see fast moves kind of go through, so it might just have the energy to throw it versus the Galarian Stunfisk, but this is going to come down to the wire. Here comes another foul play, and it's going to be a race to the Rock Slide and the next foul play right here. So let's see who's going to win this race. It's going to be the Umbreon, so this might just force the shield here from Galarian Stunfisk, but Galarian Stunfisk might be able to hold on and throw 2 Rock Slides. This is going to be so close. Here comes the Rock Slide, most likely. If this is Earthquake, it's going to be a good game for the Talonflame. So it is going to be Rock Slide. Umbreon goes down, but Talonflame is now going to be coming in. It's going to soak a Rock Slide right here. It's going to hurt, but hopefully it can do 1 Incinerate, get off the Flame Charge versus the Alolan Ninetales. Hopefully this does enough damage, because if Alolan Ninetales survives, Charm might just be able to take it out. Oh no, Alolan Ninetales survived with a charge move as well. That is unfortunate. So Alolan Ninetales taking it right there. That is going to be a good game, very well played. Moving into this next one, we got Talonflame on the lead versus Politoed. This is a bad matchup. They got to swap right away, and they're going straight into the Obstagoon. Now, we do see a Shadow Drapion come right here. So this is where the Hyper Beam is going to come in, everyone. This is what we have been wanting to see. Please land a boom here. All right, so Sludge Bomb does land. They're going for the Hyper Beam. They want to land it so bad. Here it comes. This is where we want to see a boom. First boom of the video. Boom! Takes out the Drapion. They were not expecting that right there. That's absolutely beautiful to see. Here comes the Night Slashes now, neutral in the matchup, but honestly, the Drapion was probably expecting Cross Chops right there, as most Obstagoons who safe swap either have the Night Slash Cross Chop or they have Night Slash Gunk Shot, which means Drapion is looking pretty safe, but this is where Hyper Beam can come in. Hyper Boom, I should say, but Obstagoon still putting in work here versus Politoed. It took out the Drapion and it got Politoed down to about 20% HP, which is amazing to see. And they decided to undercharge, which means these counters are doing more. It's going to be able to get to another Night Slash. Oh, just gets farmed down. But Umbreon right here can easily come in and just soak all the energy from Politoed. Now, hopefully, whatever's in the back, Talonflame can handle. And it threw a Blizzard right there as well, which is interesting. That didn't do too much damage. That's an XL Umbreon for you. Alright, moving to this next one, we got Talonflame versus Shadow Machamp right here. Another one of those situations where you have to watch out for the Rock Slide. And coming from a Shadow Machamp, it's going to be way more deadly than a Rock Slide from a Galarian Stunfisk. But they're going to let it go. They're risking it for the biscuit. Can they survive? It was just a Cross Chop. Interesting, interesting. I was not counting there, but this battler obviously was and knew it was just going to be a Cross Chop. So let's see. Otherwise, they just risked it right there. Maybe it was enough energy for a Rock Slide. And they're going to go ahead and shield this next one. And it is going to be another Cross Chop right there. So this Talonflame should be able to take it with Incinerates, as the Flame Charge will be boosting the attack, and they let it go. So we now see a Galarian Stunfisk come in, but this thing is going to get absolutely chunked. Will we swap out as well? No, they're not going to swap out. Are they going to shield? No, they're going to let the Talonflame go down. Bring in that Obstagoon and start loading up on energy. We do see a Berserker in the back, so Obstagoon would have just destroyed that. Good game. Moving into the next one, we have Talonflame on the lead versus Giratina Altered. So obviously not ideal to see on the lead. And this is Dragon Breath as well. Something to note right here, as it can do much better against Obstagoon instead of the Shadow Claw variant, which would be double resisted. But Obstagoon still can fight back with these Night Slashes, as it does do super effective damage and has the potential to get a boost. We want to see boosts in this video. We want to see boosts and booms. We've already seen a boom, so let's see how this mid game goes. Now, they're not swapping out as well, which is a potential tell that whatever's in the back might be weak to Obstagoon. Maybe that's a Steel that's going to be weak to the counter, or it's going to be Psychics that's going to be weak to the Dark typing, right? Or Ghost potential. We don't know, but obviously Giratina Altered wants to stay in right here. And Obstagoon is just going to keep throwing these Night Slashes, and I don't think it's going to be able to get to another one in time, as Dragon Breath is just so oppressive in this matchup. But they let it go, which means it can counter it down, able to take switch advantage, and sure enough, it was a Steel in the back. That is likely why they decided not to switch out. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Galarian, Stunfisk, and Melmetal in the back, which means they had to take out Obstagoon with Giratina Altered. So things are not looking too good if it is going to be double Steel, but honestly, Talonflame has the toolkit in order to take them down with that Incinerate and Flame Charge damage. Sure enough, it was Galarian Stunfisk. So we are going to see the Talonflame come in right here, and it needs to start shielding and ripping through this Galarian Stunfisk with Flame Charge and Incinerate. Able to block that first Rock Slide, and here comes the first Incinerate, or first Flame Charge. Is it going to be shielded though? Most likely will be. Yeah, it's going to be shielded, and this is now going to come down to the damage that Incinerate could potentially do. They're going to let this next Rock Slide go through. It's going to hurt, and we saw how much damage it has done, but hopefully they can get another shield right here. This is going to take out the Galarian Stunfisk or force that final shield, which then gives Umbreon some more play. It does get the final shield. It gives Umbreon some more play late game. Will they be shielding right here? No, they're going to let Talonflame go down. They're going to look to close this game out with Umbreon in neutral matchups and loaded energy. And again, Melmetal might just have superpower as well, which is definitely going to be devastating. Now, we do see a swap into the Melmetal to catch this foul play right here. But, oh man, this is going to be a close one. They have two ready to go. Umbreon takes out the Melmetal with this next foul play. I think it does. Yeah, it is going to be enough damage right there. And Galarian Stunfisk now needs to basically land 2 Earthquakes, which is going to be impossible to do as there's still a shield in play. So Umbreon able to take it right there, just showing how strong it can be in this meta. Moving to this next one, we got Talonflame on the lead versus Dragonite. All right, interesting matchup. We will see a swap right away into Umbreon now, and they're deciding to stay in. Another tell that whatever's in the back might potentially be weak to Dark-type Pokemon. Here comes the first foul play here for some nice neutral damage in this matchup. But Dragonite looking to stay in and trying to potentially land a Hurricane, most likely, as it will do quite a bit of neutral damage. But let's see what they decide to do. Wow, they're just letting it get chunked down. Dragonite's looking to go for the Hail Mary. If this is a Draco Meteor potentially, they're going to go ahead and shield. And it was the Hurricane right there, which is beautiful. They are going to be able to get to the next foul play in time. Actually, they might be able to farm down. Yeah, I think they can survive a Dragon Claw right here and just fully farm down. Umbreon looking extremely strong in this mid-game. Farms down, has loaded energy for whatever's in the back. And it is going to be a Nidoqueen, but Umbreon has the Community Day move of Psychic right here, which does do super effective damage. And it lands, but for not as much as I thought it was going to be. Still doing super effective damage, forcing shields, chunking health. Let's see. Oh my goodness, another one lands. This battler just does not want to shield anything. They're going to rely on their final Pokemon to try to close this game out, and it is going to be a Galarian Stunfisk. So Obstagoon is going to be able to lock this thing down. Night Slashes are going to be doing neutral damage and counters as well. Honestly, just Hyper Beam this thing. But Night Slash here, there's really nothing the battler can do. They are going to be getting... Oh, and the attack boost. Here we go. This is what we've been wanting to see. Obstagoon, you are locked and loaded to rip this Galarian Stunfisk apart. First boost. Now, here comes the next Night Slash. Is it going to be a double boost kind of game? 2 shields? No double boost, but honestly, counters are just doing too much damage. They're going to no-shield this as well. Their win con is basically with the Talonflame to kind of close this thing out as they can get to another Night Slash in time. So this is looking to be a good game, very well played. Night Slash takes out the Galarian Stunfisk, and a double boost! That's what we want to see! Let's go! Obstagoon flexing the late game right there. Double boost and handling the backline. Alright, moving to this next one. We got Talonflame on the lead versus Mandibuzz, the flying Umbreon. So Talonflame right here is going to be roasting this turkey. You'll love to see it. It might just go for the Brave Bird. We can see him clicking above it. He wants to go for that Brave Bird. We are going to see a lot of damage being pumped out as this Mandibuzz is likely not going to be shielding. Now, Dark Pulse does do quite a bit of neutral damage, but here comes the Brave Bird. Does the other bird expect it? No, it does not. That lands for a lot of neutral damage, and they are lagging. That is unfortunate. Oh, no, that wasn't lag. that wasn't lag, everyone. They didn't want to throw Incinerate, knowing that the Mandibuzz was going to be able to throw the Dark Pulse by the time their fast move cycle was done. So they just waited and then swapped. That is a huge IQ play right there. Honestly, rewind that back and you'll see that they waited. That was not lag. That's a beautiful 5-head play. But now we see Umbreon versus Greeden. This is like the chunkiest matchup that you're going to see probably in the Ultra League, other than the Umbreon versus Umbreon Mirror, Umbreon versus Mandibuzz, as both of these Pokemon are going to be doing very little amount of neutral damage to each other. But hey, I'm still impressed by not throwing the Incinerate there on Talonflame and waiting and then swapping to Umbreon. That was a great play. I thought it was lag at first, but it wasn't. But we are seeing Talonflame now come in to catch the charge move right here, but they weren't able to sneak and Incinerate through, which is unfortunate, as Greeden might be able to get to one more. Jellicent's coming in. They're going to go for another Brave Bird right here. So Jellicent obviously has nowhere to go when it comes to Obstagoon and Umbreon, and the Brave Bird gets shielded. That is unfortunate, but they are looking very strong with an Obstagoon close, as it does have access to counter and Night Slash to handle everything we see. And they did bring it in versus Jellicent because they're going to need to clear those debuffs, as this thing does have Bubble Beam. So in order for Obstagoon to close this game out, they need to swap out into Umbreon. But let's see how this goes. They're going to keep loading up on energy. They're looking at the switch clock, and they're going to go ahead and let another Bubble Beam come through, and this is where we might see the swap. 3 Bubble Beams is honestly going to lower the damage dramatically. Yep, there's the swap. Beautiful swap, holding the energy on Obstagoon to close this game out, while Umbreon can come in and put a lot of shield pressure right away. Now, Greeden does come in and is able to get to a Body Slam, but I don't think this is going to be enough to take it out, which means Umbreon should be able to get to 1 or 2 more foul plays. Here comes the first one. Is 2 going to be enough to take out the Chipmunk, though? It just might be. It's going to be a race to the next charge move. Can they get to it in time? Yes, they can. Is Umbreon going to be able to take it out here with Night Slash? And are we going to see a Hyper Beam versus the Mandibuzz? Please. Greeden does go down, which means Mandibuzz is going to come in. They're looking to swap out, and they do, and they go straight for the Hyper Beam right here. This is going to be a beautiful boom. I think Mandibuzz might be able to hold on, though. No, it doesn't. Boom! Get roasted, Turkey. Oh, this is going to be interesting. They're going to have to start shielding. No, they're not going to shield. The timer is coming up, but actually they still have Umbreon, so that is going to be a win anyways. Having 2-to-1 Pokemon when time runs out is a win. So good game right there. And great play with the Talonflame at the beginning. Alright, so we got Talonflame versus Berserker, and now Swampert and Obstagoon into the Swampert right here. We've seen this matchup before, and again, Obstagoon is gonna have to shield if it wants to win, and Swampert could easily take shield advantage here in the mid game. But if Obstagoon gets a boost, things are looking very good, as counter becomes a very real threat very quickly. No boost though right there, which means Obstagoon is going to have to shield if it wants to win this mid-game matchup right here, as they do have quite a positive matchup with Talonflame versus the Berserker. So first shield on the Hydro Cannon right there, and here comes another Night Slash. This is where the Swampert's going to decide if they want to take 2-to-1 or 1-to-0. They're going for the 1-to-0 right here, so Obstagoon is just going to try to commit to the farm down. Doesn't get the Night Slash on the CMP tie, so hopefully it didn't register to throw the charge move, as they can counter down now. No, they're just going to go ahead and throw it. Get this Swampert out of there, but this is a 1-to-0 shield. Oh, they decided to shield. It's going to be a race. Swampert does have another one ready. That is so unfortunate. Obstagoon is going to go down. They were able to successfully flip the mid-game. Talonflame is going to come in and farm down for loaded energy. And let's see what's going to be in the back. It's going to be a Politoed, so things are not looking good. They're going to go ahead and let this first Weather Ball go through, as they need to build up a bit more energy and then throw the Brave Bird right here. But honestly, Umbreon still has a decent matchup in this game, and let's see how much damage this Brave Bird is going to do. Quite a bit at that. They're going to go ahead and do one more Incinerate. Now swap into Umbreon to catch the Weather Ball. That is a beautiful catch. This Battler's sack swaps are on point today. Umbreon's loading up on energy. They know they got to try to swap into the Berserker here. And Berserker as well does have access to close combat, but by throwing close combats, its defenses are going to be weakened, and Umbreon is loading up on energy to take advantage of that. Berserker needs to throw 2 close combats, and if they can time it right, they should be able to do quite a bit of neutral damage. in this matchup. Now, you guys are starting to read the battlefield right now. If Berserker goes double close combat, Talonflame might just be able to come in and farm down with Incinerate. There's one close combat. Are they going to throw a second? Here comes a foul play. They're swapping into Talonflame to catch the charge move, but is this going to be a foul play from Berserker? Did they just catch a close combat? It's going to be the foul play. Talonflame survives, but it goes down, and they have a Brave Bird ready to go to boom the Politoed in the back. So able to gain this game back. Boom! Takes out the Politoed, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right, we got Talonflame versus Umbreon on the lead. Let's see how they decide to play this out. Obviously, oh, he's looking to go for the Brave Bird. You can tell where he's clicking. He wants that Brave Bird so bad. Here comes the first charge move from Umbreon. It's not going to KO the Talonflame, but it's still going to do a decent amount of neutral damage. And here comes the Brave Bird. Is the Umbreon going to shield, or they think it's just going to be a Flame Charge? It lands for a lot of neutral damage. Again, the 5-head sack swap again. Beautiful. Right there. They did the same thing versus Mandibuzz, and they pulled it off now versus Umbreon to catch the charge move. That is a beautiful play, and now we are in an inverse lead matchup here in the mid game where it's Umbreon versus Talonflame. So let's see how this mid game goes. Foul play does land, and it's all going to be about the Talonflame, whether they're going to throw the Brave Bird or they're going to get a shield with Flame Charge. That's going to be the question here for this mid-game matchup. But Umbreon is looking very solid now in the mid-game, chunking the health of Talonflame down to 20% before any charge moves come through. It is going to be the Flame Charge and a good no-shield right there from Umbreon. Here comes another one, but is it going to be the Brave Bird? I think it's just going to be another Flame Charge right here. It's going to be the Brave Bird. Umbreon goes down. Boom! But they're going to come into the mirror matchup now, load up on energy, and they might just need to shield, as another Brave Bird would be devastating. Even a Flame Charge would be devastating. So they do shield, and we see the Umbreon come back in. They're going to go ahead and go for Brave Bird again. The opponent might not be suspecting it. Let's see. Oh, they do suspect it. They get the shield, and now they swap into Obstagoon. All right, this Umbreon throwing the charge move, which is to tell this is going to be last resort right here. Yeah, it is a last resort Umbreon, and they're deciding to stay in. Whatever's in the back is very weak to Obstagoon, and maybe, just maybe, we might see a Hyper Beam Boom here late game. Let's see how this plays out. No shield again. They're just going to fully counter down. What is that final Pokemon going to be? Is it going to be Jellicent? Cresselia? Giratina? Jeez, Talonflame comes in. They are fearing this Obstagoon. It's going to be a Lugia. Okay, definitely was not anticipating that. Lugia, spicy Pokemon for the Open Ultra League. Obstagoon gets the boost as well. You love to see it. Obstagoon is going to start ripping through this Lugia right here as the Night Slashes are going to keep doing more and more super effective damage to get a shield. And another boost! This Obstagoon is going crazy. Just Hyper Beam him. Just Hyper Beam him, please. Oh, they're just going to keep going for Night Slashes, and that is going to be a good game. Obstagoon clearly was a dominant closer for this matchup, but double boost right there versus the Lugia. You love to see it. We got Talonflame versus Clefable. This is an ideal lead, and we see a swap in Defense Form Deoxys, so we're going to go ahead and see that Umbreon now come in. Obviously, you want to keep the Charmers away from Obstagoon and Umbreon, and in this matchup versus Defense Form Deoxys, it does have the toolkit to do super effective damage with counters, right? So you want to have the Umbreon in this matchup versus Obstagoon, as Obstagoon does have that dark normal typing, so it's going to take way more damage from counters. While Umbreon right here can spam charge moves quickly because of Snarl as the fast move. So things are looking very good for them right here in this mid game. Now, Defense Form Deoxys could potentially flip this around if it wants to double shield, as counters can really start to add up. But let's see how they decide to play it. We see a swap back into, I'm guessing, Clefable. I'm not sure. I didn't see it. It is going to be the Clefable. So Talonflame is now going to come in and start ripping apart this Clefable right here. Flame Charge is obviously the way to go. Still does neutral damage and is just going to constantly be boosting the attack. They let it go as well, so they want to take shield advantage if they can, but Talonflame doesn't care. It's going to throw the Flame Charge right away, looking to force that shield from the Clefable that is locked in, and Clefable goes down. Talonflame is loaded. Watch out, backline. There is a bird on fire. We're going to see the Defense Form Deoxys come back in. It's not going to be able to do anything as Incinerates are ripping it apart. They can easily shield right here. And what is that final Pokemon going to be? I'm guessing Galarian Stunfisk. It's going to be a Giratina altered. Here comes another Flame Charge. Are they going to get a shield? And can they get to the Brave Bird in time? They do get a shield. They're going to swap out now into Obstagoon to close this game out. Not the anticipated boom of a Brave Bird ending we wanted to see, but a great ending nonetheless. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Those were some really nice plays and a very fun team as well. Huge congrats here to Hyominule on hitting, getting past Legend to 3155 rating with a really cool and strong team right here. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.